Welcome back to Susan's Kitchen Corner. On this episode, we're going to make wontons, and they're really easy to make. So we need 3 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of water, and if you don't have a cup, 1/2 cups is 8 tablespoons, and 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. So 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup, 8 tablespoons, 1/2 cup. So that's if you don't have a measuring cup. And we're going to need 1 egg. So this is really easy. Make a little, pull the flour apart and make a little hole in the center. And of course with flour, when you move it, it kind of poofs everywhere. So working with flour, you will get it somewhere. Okay, crack the egg, split the egg right in the middle. Okay, and put the egg in the sink. We're also going to need cornmeal. Now we don't add cornmeal to the flour. The cornmeal is what keeps the wontons from sticking together. So we're going to want to take some of the cornmeal out and continuously dust the dough when we make the wontons so they don't stick. I will show you, don't worry. You're going to also need wax paper and foil for the wontons you don't use. So again, stack the wontons, dust them with cornmeal, and wrap them in wax paper, wrap them in foil, stick them in the freezer. They'll be fine. Okay, so let's get back to this. And so we're going to break the yolk in the middle. Kind of work it in. Now we're going to add the water. Now if I have too much flour, I'll add just a little bit more. So just kind of work it in, around in a circle. Actually, let's do this. Oh, I can't really do that. I've got something. Well, it's not cooking. I got some tea brewing. Okay, there we go. And here we go. Okay. And let's put that back over here. So, we're going to add a little bit more water. Now this asks for 1/2 cup. And again, when you scoop flour, it always comes out in a different, you never scoop the same. So I'm going to chop this in. I kind of do it my own way. You chop it in. Okay, and I think this is going to need more water. Now, recipe calls for 1/2 cup, but I'm looking right at it right now and going, well, wait a minute, 1/2 cup's in there, and it doesn't look right. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons. Good rule of thumb: when you're adding water or any kind of liquid to a dough batter, always add a tablespoon at a time, because you don't want to overwhelm it. Let's say, oh, of course not for me. Oh, I have a cup. Okay, well now we're flooded. Don't want to do that. And we want a smooth dough, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. And when you see a recipe, okay, 2 more tablespoons. When you see a recipe and it says add an egg, well, sometimes it doesn't say whether, okay, say add a large egg, right? Well, let's say you have a small egg, or it's all really very vague. when you cook recipes, you always have to adjust. You always have to be thinking, well, wait a minute. It asks for this, but I don't have that. So you just work with it. Like I'm adding more. It asks for 1/2 cup water. Well, 1/2 cup water is not going to do it here. That doesn't mean they're going to turn out bad. You're just making a bigger amount. Now, actually, if you wanted to, we could add another egg to this because there's enough flour. And there is about 3 cups worth of flour. This is going to take, you know what? It asked for 1 egg. I'm going to add 2. Here we go. Recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to do it. Because I can. And that's what changing a recipe up is. It's, if you see that something needs to be added or detracted, go for it. Now we're making a mess, but it's okay. I make messes all the time. Okay, now that looks better. Now we didn't add. Now again, if your dough gets too wet, add more flour. Okay. Now this looks good. Let's get this scraped off. Okay. Dough is one of those things that can be really messy. Just try to get as much as you can off there. Okay. Now we're going to get a little bit more flour. Just a handful. Sprinkle it over. Maybe another handful. Sprinkle it over. Press it down. Turn it over. And we're going to work this until we get a nice elastic dough that isn't sticky. And we're going to put it on our cutting board. Now it looks like a horrible mass of dough right now. Get another handful. And we're just going to want to work it. This is where the messy part comes in because you got dough everywhere. In the words of Homer Simpson, dough. Just work it. Pick that sticky stuff up. And it's going to be over your hands. If you want to wear an apron, you can. I'm not into aprons. Just, I don't know. I run hot, so I don't like having extra. Just, I don't know, I just don't like it. Okay, so keep on working it, add more flour. So you're going to want to knead this about 5, if you want, 15 minutes. And just work it really good. I got my own way of doing it. I'm working on, actually let's move back over to the counter because working on the gas oven, I don't really have it kind of moves around. Okay. So just work it really good. If it gets sticky, sprinkle it with some more flour. And we want smooth and elastic. We don't want dry and split. Dough will do that. I'll have fissures in it, and you don't want fissures. You want it nice and pliable. Now everyone's got their own way of kneading dough. You can either use the palm of your hand and you push it and you pull back and you push it again, pull back. Now it's still sticking, so let's add a little bit more flour. Now as much flour as we've added to this dough, it's going to make up for the extra egg I put in. And it balances itself out. Now see, if we did it exactly to the recipe, I would have, well, you saw I have a lot of I just have a lot of flour with a little bit of wet dough. That wasn't good. Okay, I think this is about it. Okay, here you go. Here's the dough. Flexible, pliable, not sticking. Doesn't stick, see? Well, that's not the place to do it, but you can see where I'm putting it on the back of my hand. You're not seeing little, like in some of my dough recipes, you want the dough sticky and you'll see a little tiny stickiness. But so we're gonna let this rest 20 minutes and I'll be back, clean your dough board, and we'll make some wontons. Okay,